Tonight on Scrap Hoarders, after years of crafting and card making, the team of 10 crafters will brave their piles and bins of paper scraps to help you destroy yours.
Hello and welcome to the Scrap Hoarders Birthday Collaboration Series. There are wonderful crafters in this collaboration, and for the last 3 weeks, we've been showing you different ways to use your scraps. We all have tons of scraps from our card making and other paper crafting, and this week we're going to show you how to use those scraps to make cards. At the top of the description box, you'll find a link to the next person in the lineup. I hope you take time to watch all of our videos, and as always, we love your comments and thumbs up. And if you aren't already a subscriber, we hope you'll consider subscribing and click on the little bell so you won't miss the next volume of the Scrap Hoarders series. You can also use hashtag Scrap Hoarders Birthday 2021. to find all of our videos. Some of us might be offering prizes on our channel, so be sure to pay close attention to details. At the end of this 3-week series, we will have 3 grand prize winners drawn from those that watched and commented on all videos each week. The grand prize drawings are open internationally. Check the description box down below for all of the details. So for the card this week, I grabbed out some of my colorful birthday kind of scrap papers and an MFT fringed border die. Now, these border dies, I've never actually used them on a card. I don't know if you'd consider that scraps or not, but it is one of those things that I've had in my stash forever that I have still never used. So I'm cutting out a bunch of those, and then I'll figure out how to use them on my card. I decided to use this, I guess, banner shaped compared to the scallop shape. Decided to use the banner shaped one instead, and I cut a bunch of those out of some pattern papers that have different polka dots on there in different sizes, and now I'm just going to layer some of those up on the front of my card. Again, this is a technique I've seen but I have never used, so looking back, I probably didn't use nearly enough adhesive. I put it all along that one edge that wasn't cut on each of these fringe banners, and then laid those down. I'm going basically papers with the larger dots to papers with a mixture of larger and smaller dots, and then just alternating back and forth. Next, I'm going to take that last scrap because it's got that nice curved edge on there, and just using that kind of as a topper to all of that fringe. And I am going to put quite a bit of adhesive down to make sure this part stays down. Once all of those are in place, I'll just take out my paper trimmer and trim off all of that excess. Okay, now I'm going to grab out a couple of those embellishments that we made in week 1. If you haven't seen that, check out the video here. Once you get done with my video, I decided to go with this shaker. I think just the lighter colors that were used for the pattern papers really go better with these dots and a lot of white space, better than the red and white dots of the other one. So I put a lot of adhesive on the back of that, kind of to soak through all of those fringes and make sure everything stays down. I also grabbed out this happy birthday sentiment that I've had in my stash. This is one that I created on my computer, and I just printed it out and foiled that up. I absolutely love the way that foiling works, so I just cut that in half. So we've got the happy to go up at the top, and then we've got the birthday to go down at the bottom, and I'm gluing those down with my art glitter glue. With that that panel down, it's time to add it to the front of my card panel, my card base, and I realized I want a little bit of white space around that, so I'm going to trim this down a little bit more, just trying not to cut off anything important like the sentiments. So I'm trimming that down a bit and get this one down to 4 inches by 5 inches by mistake. I trimmed it too short. So now when I go ahead and lay it down on my card base, it's like, wait a minute, it's not centered. It's got too much top and bottom. I'm going to go ahead and fix that. I'm going to take out my paper trimmer again and trim it down further on the side. So it's going to finally be the right size, which is going to be 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and it is cutting just a touch of that sentiment off, and I think I even cut off a little bit of the bird's tail, and I didn't really want to do that, but it still turns out okay in the end. You know, things happen when you're making cards. Now I've got equal distance all the way around for white space, and that is what I like. All of the stuff we've got on the front, I don't really think that my tape runner would work really well, so I'm using my art glitter glue to adhere this panel down onto the front of my card base. As a final touch, I'm putting one of those banners that I cut out on the inside of the card. So I'm putting down art glitter glue over the whole thing so that hopefully this won't come up. There are so many little tiny cut pieces that it would be real easy for any of those to flip up if you're not careful. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down, and that's going to finish up this card. I mean, it was quick and easy. Didn't I tell you that those embellishments would come in handy? And we are all done for this card. Thank you so much for joining us for the Scrap Hoarders series birthday edition. This episode was all about making cards. If you haven't already checked out the other videos in the hop, be sure to do that. We were doing week 1 was embellishments and week 2 was tags and favors. Also, as I did on my last video, since you stuck around here to the end, if you'd like to win this card, just leave me a comment down below. Be sure to also like and subscribe to my channel because I don't want you to miss anything that I have coming up. Be sure to check out all the other hoppers, all the other crafters in the hop, because they'll have a lot of amazing projects for you to see. Thank you again for dropping in, and here are a couple more videos that I know you'll enjoy. Have a wonderful day, and remember, if I can make it, you can too.